This week, diplomatic relations between Ukraine and the United States experienced significant tension following a meeting between Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy and former U.S. President Donald Trump, which once again became the focus of global political attention. The meeting, initially intended to strengthen strategic cooperation and find solutions to the ongoing war between Ukraine and Russia, turned into a heated argument between the two leaders. The tension began to rise when Trump, who had previously criticized the large amount of aid the United States had provided to Ukraine, reiterated his stance that Zelenskyy should urgently seek a peace deal with Russia rather than continually relying on assistance from Western countries. This statement clearly provoked a reaction from Zelenskyy, who asserted that his country could not achieve peace with Russia without strong security guarantees from its allies, particularly the United States, which has been Ukraine's primary supporter in military and economic aid. Trump, with his sharp rhetoric, accused Zelenskyy of being too dependent on the U.S. and claimed he was not making enough effort to end the conflict. Zelenskyy countered by stating that Ukraine was not the one who started this war and that his country was fighting to defend its sovereignty against an unprovoked aggression. This increasingly heated discussion reached its peak when Trump openly stated that U.S. involvement in assisting Ukraine was a decision that should be re-evaluated because, in his view, it did not bring strategic benefits to American interests. Zelenskyy, visibly uncomfortable with the direction of the conversation, emphasized that without U.S. support, Ukraine would be in a much more vulnerable position against Russian attacks, which continue without any signs of de-escalation from Moscow. In the most tense moment of the meeting, Trump reportedly reprimanded Zelenskyy in a harsh tone, stating that Ukraine must make greater efforts to resolve the war through diplomacy rather than simply relying on support from Western nations. Many saw this statement as an indication that Trump might alter U.S. policy toward Ukraine if he were to return to office. Hearing this, Zelenskyy firmly responded that his country could not accept a peace deal that would sacrifice its territory and sovereignty, as that would mean surrendering to Russian pressure, something that contradicts the spirit of Ukraine's struggle all along. After this tense meeting, Zelenskyy was seen leaving the White House without providing further comments to the media, while Trump, in a brief press conference, reaffirmed his belief that a stronger diplomatic approach was needed to resolve the conflict and that the U.S. should not be overly involved in what he considered more of a European matter than an American one. This incident quickly gained international media attention and sparked various reactions from world leaders, including French President Emmanuel Macron and German Chancellor Olaf Scholz, who expressed their concerns over the tensions and reaffirmed their commitment to supporting Ukraine. Meanwhile, within Ukraine, reactions to the meeting were mixed. Some supported Zelensky's firm stance in defending Ukraine's national interests, while others worried that worsening relations with the U.S. could negatively impact the continuation of crucial aid needed to counter Russian aggression. With growing uncertainty regarding U.S. foreign policy toward Ukraine, many political analysts predict that relations between the two countries could undergo significant changes, particularly if Trump is re-elected in the upcoming presidential election. As global geopolitical dynamics continue to evolve, Ukraine's future will largely depend on how Western nations, especially the U.S., shape their policies regarding the ongoing conflict. For Zelenskyy, the biggest challenge now is to ensure that international support remains solid amid increasing skepticism about how much aid should be provided to Ukraine. For Trump, this meeting reflected his desire to shift U.S. foreign policy, especially concerning involvement in overseas conflicts. This event not only marks a new chapter in the relationship between the two countries but also provides insight into how global political dynamics may unfold in the near future.